Taking a look at our Xbox Series X here. For the most part, everything here looks like it's in pretty good shape. I do notice that our system has been opened at least once before. Looking down the third of our HDMI port there, I can see that there is a copper pin that's been pushed off on the far right side. There's a gap here on the bottom, and then there's a chip on the left-hand side. So all that is a pretty good indicator that we're going to have an HDMI port issue. Looks like we might have a disc on the inside. We do. I know this is a PS5 controller. I'm just using it to test our port here. You can tell that our port is giving us just over 5 volts there, and we're getting a trickle charge off of it, which is fine, because I'm pretty sure that PlayStation controller is fully charged. Backboard on top is giving me the same, just as well as the bottom one. Okay, so I'm just going to insert a random game, just because I want to see that this is taking and ejecting a disc just fine. I'll turn off the fan I have in the background. Just want to see if I can hear it spinning up. I don't hear it spinning up, but there's a couple of reasons why that could be. It definitely does take and eject just fine. And no problems there. So I think we're looking at a pretty straightforward HDMI port replacement here. Fair bit of dust on our heatsink there. I can tell that is actually mostly covered. And then everything else here doesn't look so bad. Here's our heatsink. It looked worse from up top, but this is still fairly significantly covered here. Thermal padding looks like it's in good shape overall, just separated. We'll go ahead and reform that. Thermal paste here is really dried out, but all this will get replaced with a better product. We'll go ahead and remove this port, and we'll go ahead and install a brand new one. Old port is out. Clean off the bulk of that thermal paste while the PCB is hot, and then we'll also clean up the bottom side of our board, so this all looks good. Not perfectly clean on the inside, but I mostly care about what the vias on the outside are doing, and those all look perfectly healthy. Area underneath our port looks completely healthy here. Just taking a look at everything real quick underneath the microscope before we solder in that new port. But I'm happy. I'm going to go ahead and drop in that new port now. Here's your pins underneath the port after solder work on that new one that we just dropped in. Here's our anchors underneath the microscope on the back of the port. I can see quite clearly the pins of each anchor of that HDMI port connected, which is good. Again, this all needs to get cleaned up, but quite happy with how this looks. For context, this is a factory soldered port hole. You can see that we can't see the pin here. Really, the advantage of seeing the pin is you can visibly inspect and see that there's a good solder joint, which is what we have, so I'm happy. Solder wells on the side also look great. Main board after cleanup. Nitra NT-H1. Thermal padding reformed on this layer. Just doing a quick signal test here. Just want to make sure that we're getting good HDMI signal before we completely reassemble our system. There we go. We're on a 4K screen. There's a new HDMI port in the back. It looks great. Toyota Industries warranty seal number 137665.